I muted my mic there. Welcome to Mary Walter Radio Livecast. How are you? Oh, I got so much going on, but it's so great to see everybody. That's still playing, isn't it? There we go. There we go. That's off. Okay. And it must be over here. All right. I hope everyone is having a good day. The craziness of the holidays has started already. My husband went to ShopRite and almost got in a fight because people were cutting in line. And he's the enforcer, apparently. So, yeah. Oh, look at this. I'm zoomed out way too far. Hold on. Let me fix that a little bit. That better? I'm better. All right. Oh, it's going to be very close. That's better. Okay. We'll do that. So how is everybody? Hope you're doing well. So just so you know, this is probably going to be a little bit of a shorter podcast. I know I said that last week, but I'm on Newsmax tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. So I have to dial and be all ready to go by 6:50. And as you know, Shirley, our little senior girl, is sick, and we don't know why, but oh, that's better. So she's still alive. They didn't think the vet said she wouldn't make it to the weekend, but she has. And I don't know how she's doing it, but we've been feeding her with a syringe, much to her chagrin. She's not digging it, but everything else about her is fine. She's walking. She's starting to get a little lethargic, but she's using the litter box. She's drinking on her own. The only thing she's not doing, she stopped over the weekend, she stopped eating on her own. So we've been giving her baby food in a syringe, and she does not love that at all. But I don't know. What do you do, right? Like, I don't want her to starve to death. I don't know, because we don't know what's wrong with her. Like, the vet thinks it's some kind of cancer, but we have to pay like a lot of money to get the test to find out exactly what kind of cancer. And she's 18. We're not going to fix it. So I got that going on. I still have this dopey cough 3 weeks on, and I still have the cough. If you were listening to PhD today, you heard me hacking and barely making it through because of this cough. So because of the cat, I got 90 minutes of sleep last night. 90 minutes of sleep. So I was sleeping on the floor in the hall outside the bathroom because she decided that she was going to sleep in the bathroom on the heated floor because I turned it on for her. So that's where she was. So it's just been rough. So it's going to be a shorter one because, again, I'll be on Newsmax tomorrow morning at 7 a.m., probably like 7:05. And then Friday, I'm in for Rob Carson on Rob Carson Radio. His home station is WBAL out of Baltimore. So if you look for WBAL on probably on iHeart, TuneIn, etc. Excuse me, this is going to happen through the whole show. You can listen that way. All right, if you're not in the listening area. Oh, this is ridiculous. On the upside, I've lost like 5 pounds with the sick cat, and my stomach's upset because of the whole thing, and I'm not sleeping, and so there's that. And yes, my hair is wet again because I had to take a shower. I had to take a shower. So this morning when I was up at 4, I said, well, I'm up. So I took a shower. All right. So all of that being said, I want to bring our guest in. I have his card right here. Now I'm going to tell you, this is one of my favorite organizations. And you've all seen stories about this. You know what they do, but you may not know who does it. And so I wanted to bring him on because there's a lot of ways that you can participate. And I'm talking about Wreaths across America. So you'll see the pictures, the famous, of course, Arlington National Cemetery with all of the wreaths on it perfectly. And we were driving down to DC when I was working down there. We were driving down on a weekend, and we passed the big trucks, the Wreaths Across America trucks with all the wreaths heading to Washington, to DC. And I always wanted to lay wreaths in Arlington, but that's where most people volunteer. What a lot of people don't know is you can also sponsor wreaths, and you can lay wreaths in veteran cemeteries near you. So it's not just about Arlington. So let's talk to this guy right here, Mel Russin. Hello, Mel. How are you?
Gracious good evening, Mary.
It's good to see you. Thank you for taking the time to join me. Now, you are on the board of directors for Wreaths Across America, and you are the treasurer, correct?
That is correct. I'm also what they call a location leader. Okay. And right now, I'm working on 18 different cemeteries here locally at the Jersey Shore. And we try to cover every veteran in all of them.
Gotcha. So, tell me, how did this whole wonderful nationwide program get started?
It started 33 years ago when Morrill Worcester, who owns Worcester Wreath Company, overproduced wreaths that year. And he remembered winning a contest to sell newspaper subscriptions to the Bangor News. And as part of that award, he went to Washington and remembered visiting Arlington. So when he had those extra 5,000 wreaths, he didn't know what to do with them, remembered the trip to Arlington, called his state senator, Olympia Snow, and got permission to go to Arlington. And he and his family laid those wreaths in one of the old sections in Arlington. That continued for 4 or 5 years until a photographer from the New York Times took the iconic picture that you mentioned of the white headstones with the green wreath, the red bow, and it had just started to snow. So a year or two later, people wanted to do it, and Wreaths Across America, as a 501c3 nonprofit, was established. And it has continued now for those years. We're on task this year for over 3 million wreaths on veterans' graves.
Wow, that's amazing and wonderful.
Here in the United States and abroad. All of the trucking is donated by veteran truckers, Purdue, Walmart. They furnish those tractor trailers you saw wrapped.
Yep.
And we have an airline that flies them to Hawaii and Alaska. And we have 2 railroad companies that help deliver them to the far west.
That's what so who are the airlines and who are the railroad companies? Let's give them a shout out.
I believe the airline is United. I'm not sure what the 2 railroad companies, so I wouldn't guess. But it's a totally volunteer kind of operation. This year, there's over 5,000 locations in the United States, and there's over 7,000 groups like mine that cover those. I will give you a trivia fact. A lot of people think Arlington is the largest cemetery in the United States for veterans. It is not. The largest cemetery for veterans is right here, close to where we are on Long Island. There are 2 cemeteries there, Calvary and another one. They back up to each other, and there's over 600,000 veterans buried there.
No.
Yes.
Do you get enough wreaths for every one of those graves?
We're working on the one in Long Island. That's a huge operation. It's all done by people who sponsor a wreath. A wreath is $17, and groups can either use it as a fundraiser, and for every wreath that you get a sponsorship for, Wreaths Across America will give you back $5. And over the course of the period of time that we've been in existence, we've given back over $40 million to Boy Scout troops, Girl Scout troops, and what have you.
That's fantastic. So it goes around, which is kind of cool.
Exactly, because this way the Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, other groups can continue to do voluntary work in their location, their towns and cities and municipalities. So that's basically the history of Wreaths Across America. We have our own radio station, Wreaths Across America.
Wow.
We have a phenomenal educational program, K to 12. It's grade specific, and it's free to any public school, homeschooling, whatever, charter schools to use as they see fit. And I believe the last figures I saw, we've reached over 200,000 children with that.
That's wonderful. It's
So,
wonderful.
Wreaths Across America is no longer just something that happens in December. And I should say, too, that the date, which is December the 13th this year, nationally, is a date set by Congress. And it's usually the third Saturday of December. There's a whole history behind the significance of the wreath and what it symbolizes. The three principles, cornerstones of Wreaths Across America is remember, honor, and teach.
Yeah.
Remember our veterans, honor their service, but most importantly, teach our children. Because
absolutely,
if we forget what our veterans have given us, in my opinion, shame on us.
Agree. I want to get to some of the comments, if you don't mind, because there's a lot to talk to you about. Just to, roll call. Bill is here. Suze is here. Yay! Suze is a great WPHT listener, and she was just. I know she was there when I was hosting. That's too dark. Just now from 3 to 7. Rebecca is here. Watching Your Back is here. He was listening on Zioli's show too. Star Driver is here. Talking about my cat, you've given her the best life ever. I know, but when we're done with this, what do I do? Do I keep feeding her? I don't know what to do. Suze says, feel better, Mary. So sad when our babies leave us. Oreo's here. Star said, I listened to them talking about Wreaths Across America on Radio Nemo this morning. I have to buy my wreaths tonight. Yes, that's the easiest way to do it, is to donate. It's only $17, so you might as well buy a couple of wreaths and donate the money. It's a great way to do it.
You can go to our website and do it right there.
Right. We're going to talk about the website in a second.
Okay.
I want to walk everybody through it. Where every day is Decoration Day in Arlington National Cemetery. By the way, Arlington in and of itself, if you've never been, you really, 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 really should go. I took friends of ours from England. He was with the RAF. He has since retired from the RAF. And he was 3 below David Cameron. He was the British liaison to the Joint Chiefs when he was here. That was his job when he was here back in 2011. And we went to Arlington. I took him there, and they were floored by it. It is so awe-inspiring, and the respect and the quiet, and you can't help but be reverent when you walk in there. I think every kid in America should have to make a trip to Arlington National Cemetery. That's
Without
just
question.
Suze says, our small church cemetery has wreaths at Christmas on veterans' graves. I love it. I wonder if that's part of your organization or if it's done by the church. Hermit's here. Let's see. Suze, Oreo, everybody's checking in. Patrick. In their towns, cities, and municipalities, sounds all okay for us. Survivor, also Patrick over on Rumble. Yes, please rumble, people. Rumble, rumble, rumble. Please hit the like button. Also, don't forget to do that. It's set by Congress. Yeah. So that December 13th date, that's the day that you lay the wreaths. Is that what it is?
That is the national day this year. It will change next year depending upon when Saturday comes. Got
you. Okay. So let's talk about how people can get involved, because and if you go to Wreaths Across, I hit my microphone, wreathsacrossamerica.org. It's an easy website to navigate. One of the things they have, which I thought was interesting that you just talked about, so let's talk about it, the honor fleet. So if you're a professional driver or trucking or a logistics company and you want to help haul the wreaths across the country, there is a way that you can do that. Just go to Wreaths Across America, click the Get Involved tab and scroll down, and it is right there. It's right there. So you can join if you want. You can volunteer for trucking. You can support Wreaths Across America trucking if you want to do that. If you don't want to donate a wreath, maybe you want to support the trucking and the trailer wraps as well. So they have order forms and the whole bit. It's really cool. It's really, really well organized. I wish more people's websites were as organized as yours. I have to say that.
It is a wonderful website.
It really is. It's really done fantastically.
There's a ton of pictures that you can scroll through. There's all sorts of information there to help people. One of the things that some location leaders do is we would do which I think is quite unique. If you, let's say you live in New Jersey and your uncle is buried in Iowa and you want to honor him and he is buried in a cemetery that the location leader accepts grave-specific donations, we will make sure a wreath is placed on that veteran's cemetery.
Oh.
And that's any place as long as it's a registered location and the location leader accepts grave specific, which I think is, again,
it's amazing. It really is amazing. The Wreaths Across America Day event, which is December 13th this year, is held in more than 4,900 local communities every December. So this is growing across the country. And these all come in. They make this pilgrimage from Columbia Falls, Maine. And the drive to Arlington, which I saw that day, and I was like hanging out the car on 95. My husband's like, you're going to get killed.
Can I mention about that convoy for a second?
Yeah, I was just going to talk about it, but go ahead.
The convoy travels the entire East Coast and has many stops. It starts the Saturday before National Wreaths Across America Day. And this year in New Jersey, it's going to have 3 ceremonial stops. The first one will be at Liberty State Park in Jersey City at the Liberation Monument. That's a beautiful location. I personally knew the co-founder of that monument, a lady by the name of Luna Kaufman, and she was a survivor of the Holocaust. The next stop at 12 o'clock noon will be at the New Jersey Vietnam Veterans Memorial in Homedale.
Right at the PNC. It's right off the Garden State Parkway at exit 114 at the PNC Art Center, or is it the Garden State? I changed his name somebody. I think it's still the PNC Art Center, but at the Art Center.
I refer to it as the PNC Art Center. 2 years ago, we had over 325 people attend. We served lunch, Jersey Mike subs, soup, and Brian Muller's from Muller's Bakery gives me the crumb buns.
Oh my God, they are the best. People don't know. If you don't know what a crumb cake is, first of all, you're not from New York, New Jersey, or the Philadelphia area. It's the best of anything ever. And Muller's makes the best crumb cake anywhere. So good. People wait in line to get this place. Fun fact about Muller's, I'll just tell you very quickly. The people who started that were the grandparents, I believe, of the people who are running it now. And my grandparents had a bakery in Jersey City, one in Jersey City, one in Hoboken. And they had a house in Point Pleasant, a summer home in Point Pleasant. They were German, and the Muller's grandparents were German as well. So we always used to get free donuts from Muller's when we were kids, when we were coming down the shore. And Risden's Beach, they were also German. And we used to get to go to Risden's Beach for free too. So they had like a little German community, and we got to do that. So, I mean, I was raised, even though I'm not living in that area, I was raised on Muller's donuts and the crumb cake and to die. I'm going to go there. No offense. I'm coming just for that.
I'm inviting you. And I should give a shout out to the Salvation Army. They send a canteen truck, so everybody has hot chocolate, what have you. The last couple of years, we've honored over about 25 Gold Star families during that ceremony with a remembrance wreath. Have done this now. I've done New Jersey Vietnam Veterans Memorial for 12 or 13 years as one of the stops. But the one I'm really so excited about too this year is we're going to Monmouth Battlefield in Freehold, New Jersey.
Oh, that's even closer. But will you have crumb cake?
No, I'm gonna hit up Battlefield Orchards and Wemrocks.
Orchards, yes, Wemrocks, of course.
For donuts and little tarts and what have you, and
delicious
cider.
orchards. And delicious orchards.
Yes,
absolutely.
So I'm going to I'm going to politely ask them if they would donate cider and some. I'm using the very loose term. We're going to have an afternoon tea.
There you go. That's nice. Listen, it's for the veterans.
Those are the 3 stops in New Jersey this year. There's such a storied history for the battlefield. It was obviously the Revolutionary War.
Yep.
The last really major battle of the Revolution. Yep. I learned when I was visiting there, it was the largest artillery battle of the Revolutionary War.
Revolutionary War. Yep.
And that site was also the training grounds for regiments in New Jersey for the Civil War. So it has a storied history.
It does. All right, let me get back to some of the comments and get back to the webpage to give people some more information. Star Driver says, I will buy 2 wreaths in the honor of my 2 uncles who are veterans who served. That's great.
Thank you.
Art said the IT guy needs to be docked a day's pay, having to watch on an iPhone like an Obama voter. Here's the thing. When you log on to YouTube, you have the option of watching horizontally or vertically. There are 2 streams. If you don't want to have to watch vertically, choose the other option. One of them has a little like phone icon next to it, and that's the vertical one. Pick the other one. More people watch on the vertical one, so I was going to get rid of that option because people complain, but more people exponentially choose that option than choose the horizontal one. So somebody wants you to pay docked.
I just come down here.
He's here to defend himself. Art, you've done it now. What do you want to say? He had nothing to do with it. I set it up. So.
Talk to Mr. YouTube.
He said it's Mr. YouTube's fault. Bob, thank you so much. Robert, love Mary Walter when she fills in from Wendy Bell. Thank you so much, Robert. I will be on Newsmax tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. bright and early. Hermit Sal, Jersey Mike subs are great, and so is crumb cake. Patrick said, I've never heard it called a crumb bun. Big difference between a crumb bun and crumb
Absolutely.
cake. You want the crumb cake, not the crumb bun. And people outside of this area have no idea what a crumb cake is. They don't know. I don't know why, but they don't. I don't understand why. Sue says crumb cake all day, any day. Gregory has a question. He'd like to know, are there different types of wreaths or are they all the same?
They're basically all the same. However, we do have what we call capital wreaths. Each one of the state capitals will get a larger wreath. And then every year for the last 8 years, I've taken a 4-foot wreath over and placed it in the plaza of the Statue of Liberty.
Oh, that's so cool. Because it's on the Jersey side. It's not on the New York side. The Statue of Liberty is on the Jersey side.
That is correct.
Jersey waters, you freaking New Yorkers.
But it's very interesting. I've been up to Maine. Now, let me tell you that all of the wreaths are made in Maine.
Right.
They're all from what we call tip lands up in Maine. They're all live balsam. And they're in production. I mean, think how long it's going to take to make 3 million wreaths. But
Crazy.
It's a phenomenal process to make them. If we had time and I had my notes in front of me, Moral Worcester has come up with the significance of the wreath. There are what we call 10 bouquets that make up the wreath. Each one of them stands for something like love, sacrifice, duty. The red bow stands for something. The circular shape of the green wreath stands for eternity. So there's a symbolism behind the wreath. But they're all made by hand in Maine. And the cartons, when they are shipped, are weighed to make sure that every carton is the same weight, so that there isn't a couple wreaths in there that aren't up to standard.
Oh, that's nice. Hermit has a question. He'd like to know, with all the protests going on, has any group protested the laying of the wreaths?
Every once in a while, we'll get some concerns about the Worcester Wreath Company and Wreaths Across America, because the executive director of Wreaths Across America is Karen Worcester, married to Moral. But we go to extreme lengths. As treasurer, I can speak to this. We go to extreme lengths to make sure that the bidding process is open to anyone. In fact, we hire an outside consulting firm so that there is no impropriety or thoughts that there's collusion between one and the other. And
so stupid.
You know, it's something we have to deal with. Every once in a while, we've had issues where a group will try to register themselves as Wreaths Across America and then keep the money they collect. We find out about it and we take care of it. But there's always, we're a national organization. So you're always going to find somebody trying to take advantage. But we've been very successful. When you think that it started with 5,000 wreaths 30 years ago, we're now up to 3 million.
It's great. Patrick, going back to the crumb cake, says they have crumb cakes here. They're usually in vending machines. No. No. The only acceptable mass-produced crumb cake is the Entenmann's crumb cake, because they're made in New Jersey. Well, they originally were made in New Jersey. And growing up, every family had an Entenmann's crumb cake on the counter with a knife in it. And you weren't allowed to cut it just in case company came. And when it started to go stale, my mother would let us eat it. And it's so iconic that in The Sopranos, Tony Soprano digs into the Entenmann's crumb cake in one episode, and it's always on the counter. And that's the only acceptable mass-produced crumb cake ever.
I grew up in Lavallette I'd like to say I grew up starting in 1949 in Lavallette. I can remember when Entenmann's had a truck that would drive up and down the streets, and the driver would be like a vendor. He'd come to your house with all the different products that Entenmann made.
I would weigh 4,000 pounds. All right, let's get back to the wreaths. Okay, so here's what I want everyone to know is there's so many different ways you can get involved. And like I said, I just think this is such an amazing program. And I kind of knew that you guys would also find it to be amazing. You can sponsor wreaths if you want. You can donate $17 a wreath. You can, what is the difference between sponsoring a wreath and donating a wreath?
We like to say that you sponsor a wreath. And
okay,
I sort of brought this up at a board meeting years ago. When you donate when I went into businesses or people and asked them to donate something, they would put it on the pile on the left of their desk.
Wow.
If I went in and said, would you like to sponsor something? They put it on the pile on the right, because sponsorship to me shows ownership.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And we don't refer to it as donations. We refer to it as you are sponsoring a wreath to honor a veteran.
Okay.
If
So,
that makes
but yeah, it makes sense, but there's really no difference when you come right down to it.
it's semantics, but I think the word sponsor is so much more appropriate.
I agree. I agree. Star Driver says, instead of 2 wreaths, I'm going to sponsor 5. Wow. Look at us.
Thank
Look
you.
at us raising money. Thank you. Thank you so much. He's a great guy. He's really, Todd's a great guy. So you can pick 1 wreath, 5 wreath, 12 wreath, a custom amount if you want to do a custom amount. Now, the other thing you can do, which I also think is pretty cool, is you can volunteer to lay wreaths, to place wreaths at cemeteries. And you can go on the website, you go to place wreaths, and you can register for a location near you. So all you have to do, you click that link, register for a location near you. And there's a big map with a big, most of the biggest cemeteries are in, there's a lot like in the Chicago area, but most of them are on the East Coast. And so you just put your zip code in, and I can see where, yes, it tells me where's my town. I see my town, and now I'm going to show me where and then I can see where the closest places are to me by zooming out. And I can pick one of those places if I want to, not accepting grave specific, 1 wreath to go. And it tells you how many wreaths are needed at each one of those locations.
Correct.
So, right. So like there's one near me where they need, that's just a number. It says 3. I don't know what that means. It says it's a number. What does the number in the circle mean? Like if you click on the wreath, it tells you how many they need and not accepting grave specific. Green is ceremony and veteran wreath places 3 wreaths over their goal. So that's good. But if there's a cemetery that has like a number like Shrewsbury, I'm looking at that. Oh, it's got 2 things there. Oh, there's 2 sites. Okay. That's the thing. They have 4 wreaths over their goal, but across the street, they need 45 wreaths. So can they just take them from across the street and just bring them over to the other side? Is that allowed?
It depends upon whether the location leader is willing to transfer wreaths from one group to another.
It's literally diagonally across the street.
Yep. They have to communicate with each other because, some groups, they'll use that for next year because those roll over to that cemetery for next year. So they're already set for next year.
Okay.
It's like
so they have that
You've
bank.
got a piggy bank already sitting there with 4 wreaths to go for next year.
Oh, okay. I thought they were going to get 4 extra wreaths delivered, in which case I'm like, well, just walk them across the street.
No.
Gotcha.
They will only ship up to the total for that cemetery, but we know how many are over, so we know what can carry over for next year.
Gotcha. Scott wants to know, have they ever gotten around to creating the world's largest wreath? Do you know if anybody's done that?
I had a discussion early on with Moral Worcester that wouldn't it be great if we could put a huge wreath at the base of the Statue of Liberty as a symbol to all of those immigrants who have come to this country, come through Ellis Island, set up, got citizenship, served in the military, and served our country. Yeah. And it was something we started to work on until you remember several years ago when that lady climbed the Statue of Liberty as a protest.
Yes.
This is a national park. So there's guidelines now. So but I thought, how marvelous would it be be able to see this giant wreath at the base of the Statue of Liberty?
Well, I mean, there's a difference between climbing the Statue of Liberty and laying a wreath at the base of the Statue of Liberty. But you know what? Trump would probably let you do it on the lawn of the White House.
Maybe. Never
Right?
thought of that one.
Right? Trump's not the type of guy to say no thanks. Trump's the type of guy who'd be like the world's biggest wreath on the lawn of the White House when I'm president to commemorate vets. I mean, you're checking every box that man has right there with
Yeah.
that. I mean,
But
I think before he leaves office, that's something you should look at doing.
I will pass it along the chain of command. I'll pass it up the chain of command.
There you go. Sue says, I'm going to suggest laying wreaths to the homeschool co-op we were involved in. Valley Forge is close by. And you can find out, just go to, again, wreathsacrossamerica.org, click about get involved, or and when you click get involved, click on place wreaths, and put your zip code in, and then you just have to zoom out because it takes you directly to your town, and my town doesn't have a veteran cemetery, so you just have to zoom out and you find the ones closest to you, and you can see what they need, and then you can sponsor and go from there. I don't know how you can volunteer to. How do you volunteer to lay a wreath? Because the one just says view or sponsor. It doesn't say.
What happens is they will post a message on our message board. That will be forwarded to the location leader. And I've gotten maybe half a dozen this year. I want to volunteer at such and such a cemetery. And I'll say, welcome. Or in fact, the other day I had somebody, they said, I volunteered here. Can I change to go there? And of course I got that. And I said, absolutely.
Okay, I'm looking for the message board. So I'm trying to do this just as somebody who doesn't know what she's doing. Oh, volunteer. You just click on volunteer.
Yep.
And there it is. Okay, super easy. All right, don't be a dummy like me. Look for the blue box because it's red, white, and blue. And you can spread the word by clicking invite. So you can, if you click invite, you can send emails and things like that. I would like to invite my friend or a loved one to sponsor Remembrance Wreaths, lay wreaths, learn about other ways to help. So it's all there. So if someone has a group like Sue's does, Sue's like, I have a group, I'm going to suggest this to my group. Where would she go to get involved?
It depends upon what she wants to do. She can, it depends whether she wants to involve the town, a school. Let's ask your listeners a question. What's the difference between a cemetery and a graveyard?
Oh, is a cemetery religiously affiliated and a graveyard is not, or vice versa?
Vice versa. A graveyard.
Damn, I pulled that out of my butt, by the way. I just pulled that. I had no idea. That was totally winging it.
A graveyard is attached to a church. A cemetery is a freestanding burial ground. In fact, I just registered a new one here in Brielle, New Jersey. He is a Revolutionary War lieutenant.
That's cool. That's great.
I have another one. So right now I've got two cemeteries with Revolutionary War veterans. The one I love to talk about the most is the veteran who's buried in a Quaker meeting house cemetery. Now you're going to say, well, aren't the Quakers pacifists? How could a veteran of a war be buried in a Quaker cemetery? And the answer is his wife wouldn't give the church the property unless they buried him there.
Well, you know what's interesting? Go ahead.
And my neighbor is very involved with the state DAR, the Daughters of the American Revolution. I asked her to place that wreath every year on that revolutionary. What a wonderful way to tie things, around again.
Where is that? Because I'm looking at one in Shrewsbury, which is the Quaker Meeting House, which is across, who has too many wreaths across the street from the church, doesn't have enough. And
this one is in Manasquan, right on Circle on 35.
Okay. Yeah. See, not everybody who's watching is from New Jersey, so I don't want to get too New Jersey specific here. Todd's here. Well, Star Driver says when you order wreaths, you can also donate to help the transportation fund.
Correct.
So that's another thing that you can help to do. Oh, look at this. Lay one for the UK. Who is this? Who is Starlight sign 8666? Who are you? Do I know you? I have friends in the UK, so I'm trying to wonder. And I'm on an honorary member of a board in the UK.
Mary,
So,
this is another interesting thing. The Battle of Monmouth, the
mhm.
ranking military officer was killed on that battlefield that day, taken up to the Old Tenant Church, and is buried
Yeah.
in the church, which is right with the Monmouth battlefield. So why can't we honor him? He was a soldier.
Right. Are you talking, was he a UK soldier? He was
He was
British?
the commanding officer for the British forces.
Oh, there you go. Okay, you didn't say, I didn't know. You left that part out. So, okay, yeah, see, there you go. I'm just trying to figure out who this person is. Who is the KKK, the KKK? Oh my gosh, the 8666. Lord. Let's see. Hermit Sal says, considering the current political cesspool in New York City, most elected officials may try to stop you from placing a wreath at the Statue of Liberty, not to mention the current protesters. But I don't see. He said he does not know me, just a guy living in in London. Wow. Well, thanks for joining us. I'm so
Yeah.
excited. And Rebecca listens from Australia. So as well. How did you find us, Starlight? I'm very interested. Does your organization go to Brigadier William Doyle in Wrightstown? And how many
Yes.
graves do you get to there?
They don't cover every veteran there, only because we don't have enough sponsorships to cover them all. But yes, we do. So the answer to that is yes. Brigadier General Doyle's is a location in New Jersey. After all, it's the state cemetery for veterans.
Gotcha. And that's sad that they're not all covered.
Well, people need to sponsor wreaths, and Arlington's, and we always struggle to cover Arlington, believe it or not.
I thought that would be so covered so easily. That's crazy. Star says you can go to the site, look at locations, and it will tell you if your location is on there. It's super easy to do. It is. So, Bill, go to wreathsacrossamerica.org and just click on Get Involved, and where it says Place Wreaths right there. Or if you want, right across the top, sponsor a wreath or just donate. Sponsoring, donating, same thing. Or you can help with the fund for transportation. So there's a lot of ways you can help. And I think that I just think this is a wonderful thing to do. Oh, A.M. is a PhD listener as well. I saw her on the chat. I can't pay attention to the chat on when I'm doing radio on PhD because they're all over the place. It's not specific to exactly what we're talking about. But she said, thank you for this, Wreaths Across America. So I would like everybody to just share. I'm going to post it in your community groups. Go post the link, look at the sites that are near you, how many wreaths they need, and post it in your community groups with a link on how people can help, how they can donate. That's the big thing, is donating the wreaths. A lot of people want to take their kids and I think lay the wreaths. I don't think that's a problem, getting people to lay the wreaths. I think the problem is getting people to purchase the wreaths for people to lay. Like, you want to bring your kid. I think it's a great thing to bring your kids to do something like this. But, maybe have your kid take $17 out of their allowance. Does a kid have an allowance anymore? And have them buy a wreath, and then they can lay a wreath. I think it's a great learning experience.
I've always said, and I will continue to say it. It's 15 minutes, 20 minutes, a half hour on a Saturday morning to go and do something that you will want to do every year for no other reason that you're going and honoring a veteran. And when we do the ceremonies, we always ask everybody to please say the name of the veteran and then place the wreath. And the reason for that is there's sort of a feeling with Wreaths Across America, you die twice. The first time when you take your last breath, and the last time when somebody says your name. So those veterans live every year because we say their name. I think that's a wonderful way to honor all of those men and women who served this country.
Yeah. No, I agree. Sal says, instead of wasting federal money on crap, Congress should spend the money to help get the wreaths. I disagree with that. When the government does stuff, it just gets messed up. I like Americans. Listen, Americans are very patriotic, and the majority of Americans, except for like the loony ones, you notice I'm pushing to the left. They love their vets and they want to honor their vets, and it is heartfelt. It's not just something. It's not just this throwaway thing. When I see a vet and I say thank you for your service, I genuinely mean it, because they're doing a job that I could never do. And so I think it's more important coming from the people. I don't like the idea of Congress putting the money towards that. But that's just me.
I think it would take away from some of the meaning of what we do, because it's truly a voluntary act on the part of the citizens to pony up $17 or $34 to place a wreath on a veteran's grave. If the government's doing it, we have no connection to it.
Yeah, I agree. Star Driver, going back to Radio Nemo, which is a podcast radio show that talks about the trucking industry. They're big sponsors of Wreaths Across America. So they've been talking about this. He said they have been to Arlington when the trucks come in and the people show up to lay the wreaths. It's amazing to see. Just see them coming down 95 that time was because I think most people know what Wreaths Across America is, but maybe they don't, which is why I wanted to do this here with you.
Well, thank you for that.
You spoke to my husband's Coast Guard group, and that's where I got your name from.
Yes.
Dottie says, both my parents were veterans, U.S. Army, in the military section of the Valley Forge Memorial Gardens in King of Prussia. That's where my wedding reception was, in Valley Forge. Got married at Villanova. Well, you can sponsor wreaths for them. See, you can sponsor specific wreaths for them. And she agrees, no government involvement. Citizens who want to appreciate our veterans, us, because we love the U.S. On second thought, Mary, I think you're correct. Look at how the government has been messing practically everything these past years, decades, probably a century. It takes a long time to become this incompetent. So they've been working on it for a while. All right. So have we left anything out besides wreathsacrossamerica.org, wreathsacrossamerica.org, wreathsacrossamerica.org? Did I get it?
Yes, you did.
All right. So everybody, I'm going to turn my computer over here. I don't know, I'm going to get very bright. But thank you so much, everybody. I really, really appreciate you joining us. Don't forget, I will be Art once, he says, I say we donate IT guys Doc Faith for today to sponsor Wreaths. The IT guy's my husband, who it had nothing to do with the setup. Blame the StreamYard people who give you an option. He's yelling again. He's blaming you again.
I will second that motion. Because I met your husband.
Yeah, listen, this is StreamYard gives an option, and they say that the best choice is, a lot of people apparently watch on their phone, and more people every week for the last 3 weeks have been choosing the vertical option of the podcast instead of the horizontal option for the podcast. So they know what they're doing, and just don't choose the vertical option if you don't want to watch the vertical option. I don't know what else to tell you. And you can tell because it has a little cell phone next to it. Just don't choose that option. I think that's always the first one, and I think the horizontal is the second one, but whichever, just don't do that. So tomorrow, and you know what? I'm going to let you go, Mel. You don't need to know my schedule. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving. And thank you for everything that you do.
And happy Thanksgiving to all of your listeners. I certainly appreciate the opportunity to spread the word about Wreaths Across America. I think you sort of have an idea that I'm a little bit passionate about it. So,
as you should be. And thank you for all that you do, because you're a volunteer. So God bless and have a wonderful Thanksgiving.
Same to you. Thank you, Mary, very much.
All right. Take care, honey. Bye-bye. All right. So just to clarify, tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. On Newsmax TV, I will be there. And then on Friday, I'm in for Rob Carson on Rob Carson Show on radio from noon to 3. And that is carried live out of his home station. It's syndicated, but his home station is WBA it's W. Oh, I gave you the wrong station. It's not BAL. It's oh my gosh, I'm totally blanking. Oh my, WCBM. Oh, WC is WCBM out of Baltimore. And so just look for WCBM on TuneIn and I think iHeart. And also you can just go to WCBM.com and you can listen to the show as well there. And then I think that's it. And what do I do? Just very quickly, do I feed the cat baby food tonight, even though it's against her will and she doesn't like it at all and she fights a whole lot? Or do we just let her go and not eat? I don't know what to do. We fed her 2 syringe fills this morning because we're trying to get the baby food and the high calorie food that we have into her. And the last syringe we went for 3 because we weren't going to be able to feed her until tonight, till tonight. So we went for 3 and she pitched such a freaking fit. So I don't know what we're going to do. Anyway, yeah, this is rough. 2 cats in 1 year, 8 months. 2 cats. Consult the vet about feeding problems. The vet pretty much is like, you know, she's 18. She's got something. They can't figure out what she has, and we're not going to put her through any more tests. She's got like some kind of cancer. Vet thinks it may be pancreatic, but some kind of cancer. And I don't want her to starve to death because I think that's terrible. But the vet's like, she doesn't want to eat. She's telling you what she wants. She doesn't want to eat. So like the vet's like, listen to her. But by the same token, when we feed her, if I pet her, she purrs and she shows signs of life and she gets up and she walks around and she goes to the litter box and stuff like that. When we don't feed her, when we let her go for like 24 hours, all she did was lay under the bed. Oh, don't know what to do. Yeah, Starlight's fast for the night. Yeah, well, she's fasting. She's fasting during the day because we're just not here to be able because it takes 2 of us to feed her. So we're gonna go up and I think we're gonna give her like 2 syringefuls and leave it at that. And then in the morning, we'll feed her again. And then it's gonna have to be again when my husband gets home because I can't do it by myself because cats, you can't. I can't do it by myself. So she's only getting it twice a day, and that's the problem. If we could do it like Saturday, Thursday, we could do it a couple times. Friday, we could do it a couple times, and then Saturday and Sunday, we could do it like every 4 hours or something. But we can't right now, and I just don't even know if it's the right thing to do. Art, I love IT guy. I know he's your old man. Hilarious. How old are you, Art? He'd be fun to share a beer with. He is fun to share a beer with. And you saw last week his tap room. I showed you the tap room last week. She will eat it if she wants to. Mine didn't towards the end. Yeah, I know. My brother just lost their dog, just gave him water. It's like losing a family member. She will actually come out of her hidey hole in the cat condo and get out and drink the water out of the fountain. She has a fountain. And then she just gets back up and jumps back up into her hidey hole. So she's acting normally except for that. Gregory says, if the cat's fighting you, I would just let it be. It's not easy. No, it's not. It's great to have somebody that really cares enough and takes care of having an organization like Wreath. Yeah. Art, I turn 58 next week. You turn 58 next week and you said you're old man. You're just an old soul. You're just an old soul, Art. Don't get bitten. This happened to me as my cat was dying and I got infected badly. Oh, well, I don't think she would ever try to bite me. She tries to do this and I hold her and he sticks it in the side of her mouth and gets it in there. But yeah, I don't think she would ever bite me. Like she's never bitten me. But that would be my luck. So that's a really good point. Thank you, Star. I appreciate that. And how did you find us? You haven't told me how you found us. We do love the IT guy here. Yes, we do. Thank you so much. Well, listen, she missed the food. That's all. Yeah. Well, we're using a syringe to get it into her. So, all right. I don't know who my guest is next week. I can't think past tonight because I'm going to be sleeping on the floor again, I'm sure. And it's going to be a disaster. So I don't know. I don't know. I have no idea. There may not even be a show next Tuesday. I don't know. But thank you all so much. I love you. Have a very, very, very blessed Thanksgiving. And thank you all for everything. You really, you guys are the best. Thank you.